Hello, Euro USD live PPI Friday, the 11th of October 2024 market direction with entry, stop loss, and the take profit. And remember, on this very live stream, I'll be having a free giveaway. So be sure to stick around so that you do not miss out on that. Thank you. Thank you so much to whoever is joining right now. Thank you so much for taking your time and joining me every Monday to Friday. You know that I get onto these live streams to basically share with you what I believe the direction of the day is going to be like on the Euro USD. Now, for me to be able to share this, I use my 50% win rate strategy that gives me a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. And I'm telling you, it's a very profitable strategy because every single month I actually happen to end the month profitable with this particular strategy. So thank you to whoever is joining right now. In just a few, we are going to be diving into the day's direction to share with you what I believe the direction of the day is going to be like on the Euro USD. Now, if you do not know, the United States dollar and the Euro or the Euro USD is the world's most traded pair in the world. So many people love trading this pair, and it's one of those very stable pairs. So if you're out there and you do not exactly have a particular pair you're trading, or maybe you're still, looking for a pair to trade, definitely this is one of those pairs that I highly recommend, especially for beginners to start trading, because the other advantage it has is the fact that it's not easily manipulated. It's one of those pairs that are not easily manipulated. So you're definitely going to be trading a very stable pair, and you'll be able to see tangible results with this pair. So so basically that is it. Now, getting back onto the strategy, I told you it is a 50% win rate strategy with a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, and this enables me stay profitable in the market all year round. I'm telling you, every single month I've already shared with you guys what my results are like, and you always know that I'm always positive. I'm always in profits by the end of every single month. This is courtesy of this very strategy that I trade. So if you're out there and you're looking for a strategy to trade, definitely this is the strategy that I'm going to be sharing for free right now, or right on this particular live stream. So and guys, remember that if you happen to find some value from this live stream, don't forget to give it a like, because this really helps out, and it helps this message get to more people like you that would love to watch these kinds of videos or this type of content. More people get to watch it so that they're able to, maybe there's someone out there that lacks clarity when it comes to the direction of the day. So this is exactly what I always share every single Monday to Friday. So if you happen to get some value from this particular live stream, do not forget to like, subscribe, and as well share maybe with a colleague that faces problems when it comes to clarity on the day's direction. So thank you to whoever is joining right now. I greatly appreciate you taking your time and joining me every single Monday to Friday. So thank you. And this, I always do it, that's 8:30 a.m. my local time. That's East African time, but if you're using the New York time, that's exactly at 1:30 a.m. So that's the time I always get onto these live streams to be able to share with you what the day's direction is going to be like. And someone who basically trades the New York session, someone who trades the London session. So I like to, share this before the London session opens. So before London open, this is when I share this, so that I'm able to acquaint you guys with the perfect knowledge, so that you're able to get into the market knowing exactly where price might be going for that particular day. So so without any further ado, let's get on to the fundamentals to show you exactly what today might look like. Let me try and share with you my screen so that you guys can be able to see exactly what I'll be seeing on my end. So let me share that in just a bit so that you guys can be able to see my screen. Now, when it comes to fundamentals, basically, I'm not someone who trades fundamentals in terms of news and all that, but I like to see exactly where that or the time exactly these fundamentals are going to be dropping on that particular day. Now, today, which is the 11th of October, Friday, 2024, we can see that at 3:30 p.m., there will be PPI, and it is a monthly report. So what does this mean for me? When it comes to trading news, I do not trade news, but if I do have a trade on, I like to manage my trades through these news events because, you know, if you already have a trade on, usually most times if that particular trade happens to go against you, then most of the times these brokers that we use, they tend to actually slip you more than you actually would have gotten, slipped. Let's say if it is, if you predetermined to, let's say, risk 10 pips on that particular trade, you might end up getting slipped maybe 10 more pips or 15 more pips just because of that volatility as these or as these news events drop. So for me, what I'd like to do is basically being able to manage my trades through these news events. So what I do 5 minutes before the news event drops, especially these red folder news events, before they drop, 5 minutes before they drop, what I like to do is basically get onto the chart, move my stop to break even so that, even when that particular, trade happens to go against me during that news event, I'm not massively slipped because most of the times as these spreads are widened by these brokers, the slippage increases massively. So if you do not want this to happen to you, I highly recommend you actually move your stop to break even, and then maybe 10-15 minutes after this news has dropped, this is when you can move it back to full risk. So this is how I do it, and it's how I've done it for the longest time. Now, in case you don't know exactly how to filter, so that forexfactory.com only shows you the red folder news events, you basically come right here on this filter, part here. Then once you're there, you come right here. So you can only, check this. You can uncheck all these others. So for me, I check the red folder news events and maybe holidays, bank holidays. I also checked that because I want to know some days maybe some days maybe are bank holidays on certain currencies. So I'd like to know because that way I would know that maybe the euro is not moving as much that day, or the United States dollar is not going to be moving as much. So basically, this is how I do it. Then obviously all the events are encompassed in there. Then when it comes to currencies, I selected out the euro and the United States dollar. Then after that, you're able to apply the filter and you will only and only be seeing the red folder news events and maybe the bank holidays in that case. So basically, this is how I do it. And I'm telling you, this saved me a lot. This really saved me a lot because previously, some of these news events would drop and, I get massively slipped and then price maybe ends up even moving into my direction. So I do not want this anymore to be happening to me or even you who is watching me right now. So if you do not want this to be happening to you, at least 5 minutes before these news events drop, try and move your stop to break even because this will save you greatly. I'm telling you, this is going to save you massively. So basically, that is it right there. Now, getting back onto the strategy, it is a very simple strategy that I trade. It is a 50% win rate strategy, and it gives me a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. So definitely, if you're out there and you do not have a profitable strategy, this might be the strategy that you take yourself home with and, back test it very well so that you start making good money with this particular strategy. It can be a very friendly strategy, especially even to the beginners out there. So I'm going to be jumping into it to show you exactly how you're going to be trading this strategy. So off we are to the chart right here. So we are on the chart for today, the 11th of October 2024. And what do we have? So this is exactly what we have. Now, when it comes to the strategy, it is a strategy that bases off the previous day's price action. Now, the previous day, which was yesterday, the 10th of October 2024, this was the price action we had. You know, we had CPI. It wicked out people. You know, there are some people had put maybe their entry may be around here, so it entered them, went took them out, or some others had put here, it entered them, went, wicked them out, and then it moved in this direction. So you can see that's what volatility looks like when it comes to the market. So this is the price action we had for yesterday. So what does this mean to us for today? Because as I told you, this is how I crafted my strategy. This is exactly how I crafted the strategy. And so what I look out for is basically from the previous day. I like to see what I like to look at what I call areas of interest. Now, an area of interest can either be an order block, a fair value gap, or this could be equal highs or equal lows from the previous day. So so what do I look out for, or what am I going to be looking out for today, the 11th of October 2024? So when it comes to the chart right here, we can see that this was the low for yesterday. This was the low price formed. So do we have any area of interest right down here? Yes, we do. And that is a fair value gap. So remember, a fair value gap is one of our areas of interest. So now this is the farthest low or farthest fair value gap that we have. So price would ideally like to come into this farthest fair value gap. It comes, taps into it, then it moves in the other direction. So first case scenario that I would look at is for price to come, tap into that, price moves in this other opposite direction. So that's scenario case number one. I would expect this to happen. Or if this doesn't happen, now when we look at the upper side from the price action yesterday, so what is any of those areas of interest? Because I told you when it comes to these areas of interest, price usually on the next day likes to come, collect any liquidity or tap into these areas or levels. Once it has tapped into them and collected some liquidity resting maybe below there, then this is when price, pushes in the reverse direction. So from yesterday, price formed its high as this during the CPI news event. And once it did this, did it form or leave us any clue like an area of interest using or based off of? We don't see an order block. We do not see a fair value gap up here. Yeah. And then we also do any of this. So what does this mean to us? Then the next thing, or the next thing I would consider, is the price action for today for the Asian session. So on the Asian session, what I like to see is for price to come, take out the high of the Asian session. So this is what I mean. I would like once London open, and then once it has to this other opposite direction. So basically, these are the levels I'm looking at. Level number one is this right here at 1.09408. So once price gets to this level, then I'll be looking to actually, take my entry. Or once price takes out this level, this particular level, I'll be looking to go short. Then if price, the other case scenario is if price actually comes to this level, 1.09212, once price gets there, then I would like to take a long in the market. So basically, someone who reacts off of what price has just done. I'm not one of those traders, you see so many of those gurus and influencers that you follow, telling you maybe especially they like doing their focus on maybe a Sunday evening. They go live and tell you Monday I expect price to do this, Tuesday it will do this, Wednesday it will do this, Thursday it will do this, and Friday it will do this. Guys, I don't think that's how trading works. As a trader, you should not think for the market. You should react to what price or what the market does. That's what you should react to. So for me, I'm someone who reacts off price. When it gets to certain levels that I know a high probability, this is when I react and go make an entry. Now, for me, when it comes to entry, once price gets either to this level or this level, when it comes to entry, what I would do is basically, drop down to the 5-minute time frame. You can see that I've been analyzing this on the 1-hour time frame. But when it comes to entry, what I do is basically drop down to the 5-minute time frame, and this is where I'd like to take or make my entry. So when it comes to entry on the 5-minute time frame, what I do is basically look out for an inversion fair value gap to form. Now, if you do not know an inversion fair value gap, this is when price basically overlaps a previously existing fair value gap. So, for example, if we had a bearish fair value gap and a bullish candle comes, closes that particular fair value gap, I like to call this an inversion fair value gap. It's a commonly used term in the trading industry, so I'm sure you've heard of it before. So basically, this is how I enter, and when it comes, once this inversion fair value gap forms, I'd like to enter there and then, and I use 10 pips as my stop loss. And when it comes to the take profit, I use 30 pips as my TP. Now, for me, I also like to squeeze this to a 1 to 4 so that I'm able to make extra profits from these markets or from the market. I like to squeeze this to a 1 to 4 so that I'm able to make some extra profits from the market. And this is how I've traded for the longest time, I'm telling you. And it's a very profitable strategy. So if you're out there and you do not have a strategy to trade, or basically a profitable strategy that you can trade comfortably or confidently, definitely this is going to be the strategy that you use to actually trade the markets. But obviously, you do not have to just take my word for it. You have to go out there, go back home, sit, back test this strategy and make sure it works for you, or make sure it aligns with maybe how you trade, or maybe your psychology and all that. So basically, when I tell you it's a 50% win rate strategy, what this basically means is that out of, let's say, every 10 trades, at least 5 of those should be winners, or out of 20 trades, at least 10 of those trades should be winners. This out of maybe 100 trades, 50 of those should be winners. Now, if you have a very high risk to reward ratio or a moderately high risk to reward ratio of 1 to 4, the way this one has, definitely you're going to be, making good money, and you're always going to be staying profitable in these markets. So that's the strategy. This is what I'm looking at today, the 11th of October 2024. In the comments, you can let me know exactly what you think about this, or if you have any trading related questions, you can go ahead and share with me down in the comments. I'll be ready to answer you back. And as well, you can follow our other social media platforms, like maybe on TikTok, on Twitter. We go by the same exact name. You can check or type there, Dominate Online. You will definitely be able to get the channel, because on there I share great tips for traders so that you stay afloat in these markets. You do not have to, worry about trading when there's someone who shares such, content for free. So in case you feel you're not having enough when it comes to maybe mindset hacks and all that, and maybe psychology, you can go onto those other social media platforms. You can always check them out. I share them for free on those platforms. So yeah, so that is it. In case you enjoyed this particular live stream, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and as well share this maybe with a friend, colleague that is still struggling to find profitability, because this is a great strategy that they can make it themselves. They can make it their own. So try and share this with them. I'm sure it will help them. And as well, guys, do not forget to not over risk on your trades. Do not over risk on your trades. Don't be there and say, while Gani was on the live stream, he said, price is going to do this. So it has gotten to that level. So let me, go full margin. Let me risk it all so that I'm able to make as much money as possible. So trading does not work this way. With trading, we are dealing with a game of probabilities. You're going to win some and lose some. That's how it works. And you should embrace this. Do not over risk. Try and stay within your risk parameters so that you do not face emotional damage, guys. So basically, this is it. In the comments, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you guys a very good trading day. Bye.